To be here. I am Vincent Pinti, joined by my caregivers here on my left and right, Daniel Sawicki and Olivia Poole. I'm from the great state of West Virginia originally. I am 23 years old and working toward a joint JD and Masters of Public Policy at the University of Michigan. Go Blue for those out there. I was my high school valedictorian and a finalist for the Rhodes and the Truman Scholarships. I've interned with both a federal judge and a member of Congress. Oh, and by the way, I have spinal muscular atrophy. But none of the achievements in my life compared to the greatest honor that I've ever had. Supporting the lives of 6 extraordinary people: Matthew, Abraham, Charlie, Mel, James, and Peyton. They are aspiring physicians, educators, entrepreneurs, engineers, and athletes. A few might become some of those blood-sucking lawyers, but whichever path they take, I know that they all are going to be unbelievably successful. And they all are going to do it because they have a team of caregivers who see their colleagues in wheelchairs as more than the weakness the world tries to ascribe to us. They see in us our dreams. But our dreams and the dreams of so many others with disabilities depend on having access to paid caregivers, dedicated direct care workers who assist us in our daily lives, from getting in and out of bed in the morning to wheelchair transfers and assisting with self-care and food preparations. I'm telling my story in an upcoming film following my fight for caregiving and access at the University of Michigan. To find out more, please visit the link above me. But access to caregiving represents our independence, our community living, integration, and our ability to achieve our individual dreams. Unfortunately, there is a crisis in our communities. A shortage of caregivers and an underfunded support system presents a civil rights barrier for people like us. Nationwide, over 3/4 of direct care workers are over the age of 50, and soon many of our caregivers will need caregivers themselves. In Michigan, the state anticipates a shortage of 170,000 direct care workers within 6 years. Michigan is not alone in this crisis, and no one knows how to deal with it. That is why I worked to develop my own solution, partnering with a local nonprofit called Community Living Centers, to me and the other students with disabilities I mentioned earlier by name. Our model pairs student caregivers, many of whom have interest in health careers, with fellow students with disabilities who are pursuing their dreams. We shared our model with the Michigan state government, and now the state is establishing its first commission on caregiving in college campuses. I am here to state unequivocally that civil rights, freedom, and full citizenship are possible for people with disabilities, for people like me, Matthew, Abraham, Charlie, Mel, James, Peyton, and those of you in this room, if we invest in home and community-based services, direct care workers, and caregiving models, such as the one I have forged in Michigan. I am proud to be a part of this community that is advocating year-round for caregiving, integrated community living, recognitions for parent caregivers, and financial independence. These are bipartisan goals and needs, just like the Americans with Disability Act, the Individuals with Disability in Education Act, and the Rehabilitation Act, all bipartisan bills. It does not matter what candidate you voted for, where you're from, or what you look like. The fact of life is that all of us, at some point, will be caregivers and others care receivers. We can and must provide long-term care reform, no matter who is in charge. And that is what this community and those of you in this room have been advocating for. At last year's event, you heard from my local Congresswoman, Debbie Dingell, about her Long-Term Care Workforce Support Act. If approved, this act would represent the single largest investment in our nation's history to develop a formal caregiver workforce. We have to make it easier for folks with SMA to seek meaningful careers and give back to the communities that give so much to us. The SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act would do that, and it would allow for folks to balance having a career while retaining their care. And finally, the policy change that would be most meaningful is to finally add spinal muscular atrophy as a qualifying condition for Medicare. This would mean we could access caregiving programs without financial eligibility thresholds and live the careers that we have fought so hard for. I want to go back to the beautiful city of Ann Arbor and to be able to tell Peyton, Abe, Charlie, Matt, James, and every other kid in a chair who dares to dream that they should dream. They can use their talents and they can live a life defined by their ability and their love and their pride, and not by their disability or by their circumstances in which they inherited. I want to be able to go home, face my community, and tell them to go as far as the road takes them. Thank you to all of you in this room, to my family, to our SMA community, to my caregivers right here, and my friends across the country who are advocating for real solutions to address the caregiving crisis and other challenges facing individuals just like us. Vote on the issues that affect our community, and vote for the people who are looking out for us and our freedom. Thank you. God bless you.